If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com. Hope everybody's having a magical week. I thought before we get into the meat of this show, which is going to be our Looper Listener poll, I thought we'd touch on the social media rant that has penetrated the mainstream media. Now, I don't know if anybody else, when they see, Walt Disney World stories on the mainstream media, usually something's wrong. Lately, I've been noticing that whenever mainstream media refers to Walt Disney World, they call it the happiest place on earth. Now, I know we all know that's Disneyland. Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. Disney World, when it came out, was, of course, the vacation kingdom of the world. And then in the past, years and years, they've actually been calling Disney World in the media, the Disney media, wanting to get it out there, the most magical place in the world. So I don't know if that irritates anybody else, but it seems like every news outlet that is not Disney-focused is calling it the happiest place on earth. I think just trying to get that shock effect in there for the report. Anyway, I'm not going to touch on this too much, but a lot of it's not family-friendly. But I will say, this person that was ranting, I believe it was a mother, she was ranting about childless couples. I don't want you to go to Disney. You don't have children. We all know that's wrong. Called them immature millennials. This lady was cranky. She said they would never experience the exhaustion of chasing a 3-year-old through the parks. One, you shouldn't be chasing your child through the parks, and you should be arrested. No, I'm kidding. She used less than magical vocabulary in describing some of the situations there, which is not very Disney-like, which leads me to believe she's not a big Disney fan at all anyway. And she mentioned how she stood in line for 3 hours with her 3-year-old. We all know if you're standing in line, planning on staying in line with a 3-year-old, you're doing it wrong. That was my problem with this whole thing. This is obviously a lady who went down there doing absolutely no research, no planning. They decided they were going to go to Disney. She threw everybody in the car on the plane, went down there without a plan, and got cranky. Here's my plan. Here's what may have happened. Nobody should do this. Do not write a blog post, a Facebook post, or anything while you're hot, standing in line at Disney. And if you do, before you send that, you need to reread it before you read. Don't send it right then. Take your time, think about what you've written, and then send it. That's just a handy social media tip from me to you. It's like an angry email. Don't send it right away. Let us sit there for a little bit while you think about it, and then come back to it and say, do I really want to send this? What is going to be the ramifications if I send my nasty email? Since we have addressed that, let's get into something a little more pleasant. Let's talk about the latest Looper listener poll. This I put out there over on our Facebook page, our Facebook group, Looper Nation Live. The question I posed to Looper Nation was, what is your looping attraction? This is a ride or attraction that I consider to be, you're at the end of the day. The park's, getting close to closing. Where do you poise yourself? Where do you kind of go? Where you can get on and off. The park's starting to thin out. As people are getting off the ride, they're leaving. But you just keep getting back in line until they finally say, sir, you have to leave. You have to take you and your bucket of popcorn. It's time for you to leave the park. But kindly stop through the Emporium on your way out. Katie Forsyth says Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Expedition Everest. Those are good choices. Roller coasters that normally have a great big long line. Ride them again and again and again. Good call. Brian White says, my wife and I debate between Pirates and the Haunted Mansion. Those are two good ones. We alternate between trips. Joe Herco says, it's always been our family tradition to end our trips riding Spaceship Earth. I'm going to be sad to see it closed, but excited to see what updates they'll be coming up with. We close out the Magic Kingdom day with People Mover or the Haunted Mansion, but the trip always ends with Spaceship Earth. I love it when a family has a tradition like this. I love that. Chris Richardson gives us his 4. They're Expedition Everest, who's at the Animal Kingdom, People Mover for the Magic Kingdom, Tower of Terror for the studios, and Spaceship Earth for Epcot. Spaceship Earth getting some love. A good friend of the show, Matthew Wallace, says People Mover at the Magic Kingdom, Spaceship Earth at Epcot Center. I love that it's Epcot Center. And Matthew says there isn't much to do for the Animal Kingdom or the Hollywood Studios for him, so he doesn't do the looping attractions there so much. Leanne Bartlett, so goes at Disneyland or the Disneyland Railroad. At Epcot, it's Spaceship Earth. Magic Kingdom is the People Mover, and at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the Walt Disney exhibit. That's very interesting. I like that idea. I love how the People Mover is getting love. Sometimes on the People Mover, I don't know if you know this, if it's getting a little thin, you might just have to, put your politely, just put your index finger in the air. I said index finger, and just make a little circle with it, and they might just let you go around again without even getting out of the People Mover. Just throwing that out there as a little tip, not a guarantee. And if they say, sorry, we can't, then just get out and get back in line. But that's a great looping attraction. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo says, Soaring. Everyone is usually watching Illuminations. It's so nice and quiet and so much fun. Soaring, fantastic choice, Jennifer. Love it. David Oppenheim says, thought our family was odd, but it looks like we're in good company. We hit the People Mover. A close second for them is Splash Mountain. He goes, okay, me and my son, we might be spotted with a blast mad dash to Space Mountain. He's just saying. Love that, David. Amy, how you doing? Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a good looping one, too. I like that one. The trick with that one, though, is the boats can't be backed up. You don't get on and off quickly. You know how the boats will back up sometimes. Shannon Esper, met her at the Indy Dismeet. She goes, probably the Haunted Mansion. Though on our honeymoon trip, my husband and I rode Expedition Everest like 6 or 7 times in a row before the park closed. It was when they had just expanded the Animal Kingdom's hours, so no one was really there late, and we walked right on every time. That's the best definition of a looping attraction. Shannon, thank you so much. And if you don't have motion problems, like I'm usually good for maybe twice. I can't imagine doing it 6 or 7. That's fantastic. Shannon, thank you very much. Dave Hollywood. Oh, met him last year at our meet over at the Contemporary Resort. He says Haunted Mansion and Pirates. And a trip to Sprinkles. He considers that an attraction. David, that's a good idea. Anytime you can get more cupcakes or icing and or sprinkles on that, fantastic. Marlene Jukniewicz says, our last ride ritual on our last day is the river ride at Pandora. Navi River Journey getting some love from Marlene. Thank you, Marlene. Cliff Barnes, he sent a Big Thunder, a little animation to our webpage. If you want to see that, go over to LooperNationLive.com. Cliff, love that one. Big Thunder doesn't affect me the way Expedition Everest does, by the way. I could ride that one over and over again. Jonathan Clark, showing some love for the People Mover. That's his looping reaction. Jim McNair, good friend of the show, good blogger over at ResortLoop.com. Check him out over there. He misunderstood our poll, but he mentioned he thought I meant close as far as, closing permanent. I just meant close at the end of the day. But 2 of his favorites, Pirates of the Caribbean and the People Mover. He said he'd go back and forth between the 2. I'm going to choose for you, Jim. I'm going to say you're going to go on the People Mover. You can just loop on that one. I don't want you walking back and forth. That's a lot of extra steps to get in at the end of the day. But if you want to do Pirates, do Pirates. But I'm going to choose the People Mover for you. Susan Gunn says it has to be Expedition Everest. Great to ride it at night. Totally different experience. Susan, that's fantastic. Susan, I have not ridden that at night yet. I've done it like during the day in the morning. I got to imagine night'd be fantastic. Kind of like that Jungle Cruise feel at night. Love that. A good friend, Jamie James Price, says the Tower of Terror. If I'm at the Hollywood Studios, we ride until they close. I never ride less than 3 times, back to back to back. He said the cast members are very loose and fun at closing time. By loose, I hope he means humor-wise and not checking on the restraints. I'd like them very tight. Peg Zisman says the People Mover. In fact, we usually bookend our visit to the Magic Kingdom with rides on the People Mover. Then we throw in a few more visits midday as well. What's not to love about the People Mover? Peg, I agree. Anytime I'm in Tomorrowland, I try to get on that People Mover. It's fantastic any time of day. And it's not too bad. If it's not a super blowy rain, where it's blowing almost horizontal. Nice gentle rain outside or straight up and down rain. I love the People Mover then as well. Corey Johnson. Corey, I got to be honest. I first read this. I thought you were talking about the Carousel of Progress. I think you're talking about the Carousel in Fantasyland. He said, both have always been infatuated with it, and we still have to ride it at the ages of 11 and 14. I love that. Those are pictures that you're going to make a nice little page in a scrapbook album, or a nice little video you can put together with all the different rides on the carousel. Corey, that is fantastic. I love that. Thank you very much. Michael Johnson says, the Haunted Mansion. Just love that ride. And if not that one, the People Mover. Another classic that I love. Michael, excellent choices. Jeff Hathcock just says, Big Thunder. Bree Wallagroski also says Big Thunder. Scotty Fody. Scott says, does getting beer at the Germany Pavilion count as a ride? I will count that as an attraction, not a ride, but I've not seen you drink beer in Germany, so it might be a ride. Just saying. Michelle Buglioni Rosario. Hey, Michelle says, Pirates or Big Thunder. Robert Spence says, why not Walt Disney World? It would have to be a ride we don't have here at Disneyland. Like I think that's the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, Carousel of Progress, Spaceship Earth, Rock and Roller Coaster, or Pandora. Excellent, Robert. Those are good choices, but what do you do at Disneyland for the same thing? Interesting. Robert, just let me know. I'm just curious. When I go to Disneyland, what should I plan on looping? I'm excited about that. Let's call it here. We'll divide this up into 2 shows. We'll tally it up. We'll come up with the grand winners of the looping attractions for 2019, as decided by the members of Looper Nation Live. Before we wrap up the show, I will say, if you're listening to this going, I would love to loop some of these attractions. They've not mentioned my favorite yet. I want to go loop such and such a ride. I'm not going to tell you mine yet. I'll tell you at the end of the next show what my favorite ride to loop is. But if you're thinking of going, look up over at ResortLoop.com. We can book you a nice little trip down there, get you a hotel. There's a couple deals out now. There's 20% off. Good for a while. There's a free dining offer. There's a new Christmas package out there. Let me get the details on this. Give me 1 second. It's called the Ultimate Disney Christmas Package. Now, this is one of those packages. We've had these before in the past a little bit. Very specific dates on this one. This is from Saturday, December 1st, 2019 is your check-in. Then you're checking out on Christmas, Wednesday, December 5th. This is 2019 if you're listening in the future. If you're listening way in the future. On the 31st, you get exclusive nighttime access to ride Avatar Flight of Passage, the Navi River Journey, and Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom Park, with an exclusive showing of what will be the new Rivers of Light, the We Are All One show. Then on Sunday, the 22nd, you go into the Magic Kingdom, and you'll get Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. On Monday, the 23rd, or Tuesday, the 24th, you get 1 night for each of these. Access to an exclusive reserved viewing area to watch Epcot Forever. That'll be the new nighttime spectacular that by then will have replaced Illuminations. Plus, each guest, 3 and up, will receive a digital $50 Epcot theme park dining promo card to use at Epcot dining locations. That's pretty cool. And then Wednesday, December 25th, your ultimate Disney Christmas gift is delivered to your hotel room. So that's just 1 per room. But if this sounds interesting to you, this is a 5-night package. Pricing varies, of course, depending on your accommodations and that kind of thing. Kind of, again, strict on the dates. You can't shift this. This is what it is. Saturday, December 21st through Wednesday, December 25th. If this interests you, just look us up over at Resort Loop Travel, or you can even email Tim at ResortLoopTravel.com. Everybody, thanks for listening. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you had a good time. I hope you're enjoying the Looper Listener Poll. I love the Looper Listener Polls. It just takes me back to the parks whenever listening to what everybody likes to do, and this time it's our looping attractions. You can find us over on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.com. You're going to check out our channel over there. If you're subscribed to us, I'm going to be updating some of the library there, so you're going to see maybe some notifications here and there. We're putting up some older shows to get things caught up for maybe some new content going up there, maybe. Just saying that. If you'd like to join Looper Nation Live, catch some of these polls, interact with our great community over there on Facebook. Once again, that's Looper Nation Live over at Facebook. Tim Scott, Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com, occasionally Instagram. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Gateway to the Magic. We'll see everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I just dropped everything. That could have gone horribly, horribly wrong.